Hello, Empowerment Studio. This is Kinsey Elizabeth. I am the founder and CEO of the Empowerment Studio, which is based in Kansas City, Missouri. We are one part boudoir photography and one part connected community, and that all comes together into a really magical, awesome space. What we do in the Empowerment Studio, we create a cozy, supportive playground of sorts where all genders of humans can come in and practice taking up space and becoming the most full version of themselves. And in addition to that, they also get to exist in really beautiful photographs of themselves. I've basically been describing the empowerment experience. Like when you come into the Empowerment Studio, start to finish, your time here is kind of like a workout in a sense, like for your mind and for your relationship with your body. You get this incredible space to unplug. You don't have to be like a parent or, an employee somewhere. You don't have all of these other roles and obligations in which you are responsible to other people for things. And you get time to just focus on being who you are out loud, being in your body in an environment where you are encouraged to speak up for your needs and ask for what you want and feel really good. I am recording this. You might hear some birds in the background from my back porch where I do work as often as humanly possible. I love being outside. So you might hear birds in the background. You might hear an occasional dog bark. Part of the experience. So I am here because I want to talk to you today about a really cool experience I had yesterday. I do celebration sessions as the second part of a boudoir experience. So in general, the flow in the Empowerment Studio is a client books with me. We take them through the steps to get them ready for their boudoir session. And then after their session is done, I go home and I scurry around with your images and edit everything. I pick the absolute best photos from what we've created together that day. And I put them together into an image gallery, and that's going to be all of the images that I share with you. But I'm not going to send these to you at 11 p.m., where you are going to be by yourself and, left to your own deeply carved brain pathways to pick yourself apart in these images when you see them for the first time. That feels irresponsible, to be honest with you. Instead, what we do is we bring you back in, actually, usually virtually on Google Meet, and we guide you through the experience of seeing your photos for the first time. So it's kind of like a buddy, someone to hold your hand virtually while you are seeing these images of yourself. And here's the thing. It is very normal. Like we are really trained in our society to pick ourselves apart, to compare ourselves to others, to images that we've seen. And I think it's really important to start to challenge that, like kind of try to shake that messaging up. But it's really hard to do it alone. And I don't think we should be expected to be on that journey by ourselves. So that's where I come in. And in the celebration session, we first indulge in a slideshow. And then one at a time, we go through your images and we just get to like take them in together, process them. We do it as a team, and sometimes it looks like processing, the hard parts. Like, oh, okay, wow, that's my whole body right there, or oh, I'm not used to seeing myself in this, more intimate or sexy or empowered light. I'm used to seeing myself in a mirror or in a selfie, right? That's kind of the view that we have of ourselves. So to see ourselves in a different context can be a little bit jarring, even if you love the photos of yourself. But sometimes it can be a little difficult because you're like, okay, cool. So that's what my body looks like. Or, I'm learning this part of myself. And here's a context where I get to do that. And it's really cool to have a supportive person in your corner rooting for you and kind of guiding you through how to rewire these pathways that we're so used to. And then the other thing we do, in addition to helping you process, we also celebrate you. We also enjoy what's beautiful in the photos. We notice together the things that you really love about yourself in these images, or even the parts of yourself that you feel neutrality towards, right? But we can admire the way that the light wraps around the curves of your body. We can notice how your smile is genuine and your eyes are sparkling. We get a chance to do that indulgent part as well. It's more fun to do those sorts of things in good company. And the reason that I'm talking about this today is that I just had a client yesterday who had their celebration session, and it was amazing. It was amazing. They're all amazing. Like, this is the thing. They're such a joy. Specifically yesterday, so very often when I start the celebration session, I will turn to you and I will say, "How have you been since your session? What has changed? What's shifted? Has anything like from your time in the empowerment studio had ripple effects into your life?" And I am always blown away by the answers. There have been people who've been like, "Yeah, I actually felt so empowered that I just went ahead and quit my toxic job and found a new one, and I got a significant raise." Or people are like, "I felt so good and confident that this encouraged me to put myself sign up for a dating app again. I've been wanting to like be back out there on the dating scene, but I've been nervous about it. And now I know I can take good pictures of myself that I feel really good in. And so now I'm back on the dating scene and I had a first date last week or whatever." So it's really cool to see, what people's takeaways are, what they have to say after their session. Um, Specifically yesterday's client, it was so cool. They were telling me, they're like, "I noticed that I'm not critiquing myself as much anymore. Like, since the session, I see my body and I go, oh, that's my body," instead of seeing my body and going, ew, this part of me, or I need to fix this, or I wish I didn't look like that. They also told me they started wearing things a little bit more boldly that they've been wanting to do for a long time, but they finally felt the confidence and the capacity to like give it a try. Their example, they were like, "I've been wearing crop tops for a while now. Like, I've been feeling a little bit brave to like wear a thing that feels bold for me, and shows off my body in a specific way." But they're like, "But in the past, I've like worn the crop top and then I've worn overalls over it. Like, I've still kind of hidden myself even while doing something that was feeling really brave." And I gotta say, that's really actually a cool version of it. Is like, you can just gently stretch yourself. You don't have to be like, "I am not a person who wears crop tops, and now I wear crop tops and my belly shows all the time and blah, blah, blah." Like, you don't have to make that full leap. You can say, "Okay, what's 5%? Do I want to wear a crop top at home sometimes? Or do I want to wear a crop top with overalls or whatever?" But this person had been doing this work for a while. And so after their session, there was like a transformative shift where they were like, "Okay, I think I can try this. I'm going to do this thing that feels a little bit vulnerable to me." So, love that. They also said they have been kinder to themselves, that they have been like seeing parts of themselves and being like, "Oh, could I actually find this beautiful?" Or noticing negative self-talk and saying, "Oh, hey, actually, I'm going to not do that. And instead, I'm going to do this other version where I give myself a break," or check in and say, "Oh, does X, Y, and Z happening mean I need some rest?" Right? The other thing that they said is that they have been more able to tap into the joy and ease that they felt during their session in other moments since then. And they actually expressed that they've had a lot going on in these last weeks since their session. There have been a lot of complicated times, and the practice that they had, that deep joy, the unfiltered, like unhindered um, ease and relaxation and peace and laughter that they felt during their session, they kept thinking, maybe I can tap back into that. Maybe while this is hard and I'm having these conversations that are challenging, I can also find some joy inside of myself to just allow it to all feel a little bit lighter. So I thought that was really cool. It's interesting because the celebration session is a significant part of your empowerment boudoir experience, right? This is not, it's like you come in and you get your photos done. That's the part that we show on social media. That's where we have a lot of behind the scenes photos. We don't talk nearly as much about the celebration session because that is such a more intimate experience, right? You are seeing your photos for the first time. You are seeing tangible proof of this enormous experience that you have gone through in the empowerment studio. And there's a lot of processing and a lot of unfolding that happens, but it's a much quieter version, right? During the photo shoots, clients are laughing and we're moving all over and we're trying on different clothes and we're, doing all these wild poses and everything. The celebration session is us sitting together, going through, I'm guiding you through this next part of the process, the whole second half of the Empowerment Boudoir experience. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat to see. So I'm curious what might unfold for you in between doing a session and seeing your photos in the celebration session for the first time. We put a lot of weight on the first part of the photo shoot experience. Have you considered how you honor yourself in the second part? All right. Well, that's all for now. I have already sent that client their digital images, but I am now off to go order the products that they ordered. This client chose to get some metal wall art from their session. It was actually really difficult to pick because we had a lot of favorites. But we finally landed on an image that they felt strength and confidence and power in. They were really surprised by the fact that they ended up choosing an image that's fairly revealing for the image that they wanted to put up in like a private space within their home. And they also got a Viewmaster, which is one of those little you put the reel inside and you can hold it up to your eyes, point it towards the light, and you can click through. A lot of us had these as kids, but back in the day, they had them with, dinosaurs or Disney princesses on them. This has your boudoir photos on it. So this client ordered a Viewmaster as well. So I am off to go place some product orders. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day whenever you're listening to this. Ta-ta!